This is the place where the powerful Ford Police Interceptor is made. 40,000 Ford police cars are produced each year at the Chicago assembly plant. The Chicago Modification Center receives these vehicles after assembly and modifies them for police use. Right now, you're watching the welding of the car body. At the same time, engines and transmissions for Ford police vehicles are prepared in another part of the factory. Inside this factory, the Ford Police Interceptor and the law enforcement-oriented version of the Ford Explorer are built. These vehicles are very popular with police in the US for several reasons. They can idle for hours and are built to handle aggressive driving. They operate 24/7 across multiple shifts and offer quick acceleration for pursuits. They also reach high top speeds, often factory limited, but still sufficient for highway chases. In addition, many models offer all-wheel drive for bad weather. This factory currently employs around 4,600 workers, 4,200 of whom are hourly employees. These assembly line workers earn approximately $21 per hour, depending on their seniority. A recent update shows that many hourly workers, especially union members with higher seniority, now earn about $32 per hour before overtime. This Chicago assembly plant, opened in 1924, is the oldest continually operating Ford automobile manufacturing facility in North America. The plant covers about 113 acres and has a facility footprint of about 2.8 million square feet. Right now, you are watching the main assembly line, where lights, wheels, and the chassis with the engine are attached to vehicles on a slowly moving conveyor. Gradually, a complete car is assembled. Each worker is trained for a specific assembly task. The Police Interceptor line exists because Ford builds purpose-built vehicles for police and emergency services. As of recent years, the Chicago assembly plant builds several SUVs, including the Ford Explorer, Lincoln Aviator, and the Ford Police Interceptor Utility. At the same time, the assembly line produces both civilian Ford Explorers and Police Interceptor Utility vehicles. The Chicago assembly plant builds SUVs for everyday drivers, and those destined for law enforcement are later outfitted for police use. Once a vehicle rolls off the assembly line, it doesn't leave the factory just yet. Quality control teams and test drivers put each car through a rigorous series of checks to make sure it meets Ford's high standards. Lights, windshield wipers, infotainment systems, air conditioning, and door locks are all tested. Some cars are checked electronically with scanners to detect hidden issues. This manufacturing process happened at the Chicago assembly plant. The cars can now be started, and the ones for police are sent to Troy Design and Manufacturing. Located less than a mile from the main assembly plant, Troy Design and Manufacturing is often said to be practically side by side. Right now, you're watching the first stage of converting Interceptor vehicles into police spec models. Compared to a standard civilian Ford Explorer, the Police Interceptor Utility features numerous modifications designed specifically for law enforcement. These workers at the Chicago Modification Center are currently installing police equipment, transforming ordinary vehicles into police beasts capable of chasing down criminals across the United States. It has a stronger suspension and heavy-duty brakes, along with structural reinforcements for added durability. The vehicle meets a 75-mile-per-hour rear impact crash safety standard and is equipped with heavy-duty tires and wheels. Inside, the interior is configured for police equipment rather than passenger comfort, and it does not include third-row seating. As you can see, this hall is currently handling work on several dozen vehicles at the same time. It's built for pursuit, patrol, or other police-related duty, Performance, durability, safety, interior space for gear or detainers rather than civilians. This upfitting center spans about 54,000 square feet, employs 200 people, and can outfit up to 800 vehicles per week. Ford Interceptor line was built for police. In normal circumstances, Interceptors are only sold to agencies or fleet buyers. However, especially in places where such cars are decommissioned or resold, it is possible that a private person could end up with one. Now, workers carefully measure and position the letters to make sure they are straight and centered on the vehicle door. High-quality, reflective vinyl is used for the police text, which improves visibility at night or in low-light conditions. The lettering is not painted. It's vinyl, so it can be replaced or removed if the vehicle changes departments or livery. Placement is standardized across Ford Police Interceptors to meet law enforcement visibility and safety regulations. Customers, such as police agencies, can choose from more than 125 customizable packages that include different lighting systems, decals and wraps, police-specific hardware like bullet-resistant door panels, electronics, sirens, and more.
With that electric motor and the
You are now watching test drives of a freshly built Ford Interceptor Utility as it undergoes performance and safety checks before leaving the modification center. Because the upfitting is done in-house rather than by aftermarket third parties, the vehicles remain under the original equipment manufacturer warranty and maintain the same quality standards. So, after the standard SUVs like the Explorer are built on the line, some are chosen to become police interceptors. Once assembly is finished, these vehicles are sent less than a mile away to the nearby Troy Design and Manufacturing, also called the Chicago Modification Center, for special police modifications. During training, officers get to simulate high-speed chases, emergency stops, and rapid response maneuvers. Even though the Interceptor is a high-performance vehicle, it is designed with enhanced crash protection, stability systems, and reinforced frames. This is what the production of the facelifted 6th-generation Ford Explorer looks like at the Chicago assembly plant. After the body is stamped and welded, it is moved to another part of the factory, where chrome trim and badges are installed. The vehicle cab is moved to the main assembly line using a powered sliding conveyor system. The assembly of the front deck plate is greatly simplified by the robotic feeder, which precisely positions each component and ensures consistent, high-quality installation. Since the plant began producing the Explorer and other related SUVs, it has moved away from traditional sedans and now focuses mainly on models such as the Explorer, the Lincoln Aviator, and police-spec SUVs. Once the front dashboard is installed, a Ford factory technician carefully connects all wiring harnesses and electronic interfaces to the main control unit, ensuring proper integration of the vehicle's electrical and communication systems. At this stage, the worker can easily install all of the seats, which arrive wrapped in protective plastic coverings to prevent damage during handling. While the bodywork is being produced, the engine is assembled on the vehicle's chassis in another area of the factory. This is a 2.3-liter, 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine. In the active ST line and Platinum models, it produces 300 horsepower, or 224 kilowatts, with 310 Newton-meters of torque. This stage of production is known as marriage. It brings together the completed chassis and the finished car body, combining them into a single, fully integrated unit. The plant began producing the Ford Explorer in 2010, with the first Explorer units built there for the 2011 model year. Now you can see all the lights being installed. Already pre-manufactured elsewhere in the factory, they are easily and securely bolted onto the car. According to reports, since the plant was retooled for SUV production, it has built more than 3.3 million SUVs, including the Explorer. In recent years, the Chicago assembly plant has been the only facility in the world that builds the 5-door Explorer, making this body style exclusive to that plant. While facelifted models usually bring only minor interior updates, the 2025 Ford Explorer takes a bold step with a completely redesigned dashboard. It has been pushed forward, creating noticeably more space for the front passengers. In the last step of the assembly line, when the interior of the car is finished, the doors are reinstalled. The plant remains a major employer. Recent reports show it has about 5,800 to 6,000 workers, both hourly and salaried, involved in SUV production. Most of them work on the main assembly line. Over the full century of existence, total vehicle production from the plant is estimated at around 16 million units. The 2025 Explorer has an embossed Chicago skyline in the passenger side instrument panel, visible when the door opens, a nod to the hometown plant. At the end of the assembly line, the latest Ford Explorer undergoes rigorous testing, starting with a full check of all controls from the driver's seat. Despite the visual and technological upgrades, Ford engineers kept the Explorer's underpinnings largely unchanged. The more powerful engine is now available as an option in the luxurious Platinum trim, whereas it was previously standard. Paint quality is carefully inspected in brightly lit LED tunnels, followed by a thorough visual check of all equipment. Most of the interior remains protected with plastic coverings. At this Ford factory, employees do not follow a strict dress code, wearing only safety goggles and gloves as needed. The final stage of assembly is followed by a thorough test drive to evaluate every aspect of the vehicle's performance, including long-term drive feel, chassis handling, steering precision, and braking response. At Ford's Chicago assembly plant, many cars are taken onto a dedicated test track with rough patches, cobblestones, and varied terrain to check for squeaks, rattles, suspension performance, and real-world handling. After finishing the test runs, each car is loaded for transport. For nearby destinations, vehicles are placed onto car hauler trucks for direct delivery. For long-distance shipments, especially across states, they are loaded onto specialized rail auto racks, bi- or tri-level rail cars to travel by train. Then at a rail yard, they're transferred again onto trucks for the final leg to dealerships. This combined rail and truck distribution system helps Ford move large volumes efficiently and safely from the assembly plant to showrooms across the country. This is an exoskeleton for car factory workers. It enhances the physical abilities of workers, especially during tasks that involve heavy lifting, repetitive movements, or awkward postures. Think of it as a robotic suit or brace that fits over the body, helping to reduce strain on muscles and joints. Here's an inside look at how the Ford Ranger is built inside the Michigan assembly plant. The body undergoes between 3,000 and 4,000 spot welds during assembly. Each Ranger contains more than 2,700 individual components. Nearly 600 robots work together on the chassis line, completing a fully finished chassis in roughly 3 hours. Before leaving the plant, each truck is subjected to an extensive series of nearly 1,000 quality checks. These include everything from detailed visual inspections to advanced electrical diagnostics, ensuring every system functions exactly as intended and meets the plant's stringent production standards. This is the Ford Expedition's full manufacturing process from start to finish. The Expedition is a full-size, 3-row SUV that has been produced across 5 generations since its debut for the 1997 model year. The Ford Expedition and Ford F-150 share a lot of production similarities because the Expedition is essentially the SUV counterpart to the F-150 pickup. The F-150 is assembled primarily at 2 major U.S. factories, Dearborn Truck Plant and Kansas City Assembly Plant. Because the F-150 lineup includes a wide variety of trims, the assembly lines are fairly flexible, able to handle many variants simultaneously. You're now watching the production process of the latest 6th-generation Ford Bronco. This behind-the-scenes look highlights how the Bronco is built today, showcasing the modern manufacturing methods, engineering updates, and design innovations that define this newest generation. The 6th-gen Bronco is assembled at the Michigan Assembly Plant, Wayne, Michigan, which was retooled specifically for Bronco's return. Ford invested about $750 million and added roughly 2,700 jobs to support its production. Now you can take a look at the production processes and procedures of the Ford E-Transit at the Kansas City Assembly Plant in Missouri. To prepare for electric van production, Ford invested about $100 million into the plant and added roughly 150 full-time jobs specifically for E-Transit production, including battery pack and electric drivetrain assembly. The plant is the first in the U.S. for Ford to assemble both electric vehicles and their battery packs in-house, meaning the E-Transit's body, electric drivetrain, and battery are completed under one roof at Kansas City. You are now observing the production process of the 2015 Ford Mustang, included here for comparison. The first Mustang rolled off the assembly line on March 9, 1964, at Ford's Dearborn Assembly Plant in Michigan. It became an instant sensation, selling over 400,000 units in its first year alone, making it one of the fastest-selling cars in automotive history at the time. While early Mustangs were produced in Dearborn and later in Lansing, since 2005, the primary production has taken place at Ford's Flat Rock Assembly Plant in Michigan. This version of the Mustang marked a major leap forward in engineering, design, and global reach. Flat Rock, originally a Mazda joint venture in the 1980s, was fully converted into an all-Mustang plant in 2005. The facility was outfitted with advanced robotics and flexible assembly lines, allowing it to efficiently produce the Mustang at high volume. By 2004, Flat Rock had become the sole producer of the Mustang, a role it continued to hold through the 2015 model year. To accommodate the new generation, the plant underwent significant upgrades totaling over $500 million. Here, you are seeing the installation of seats, the steering wheel, and other interior components, a crucial stage where craftsmanship meets automation. Once all components are ready and on the assembly line, many modern cars take about 30 hours of line time to assemble, from bare chassis to a fully finished vehicle. Although produced in the United States, Mustangs are exported around the globe, with more than half of modern Mustangs sold outside the U.S. market. The 2015 Mustang introduced a major engineering milestone: independent rear suspension across all trims, replacing the traditional live axle. This change greatly enhanced handling and ride comfort, an improvement particularly valued by international customers with high expectations for performance. To reduce weight and improve fuel efficiency, many components, including the hood and front fenders, were crafted from aluminum rather than steel, combining performance with efficiency. In the LED-lit quality inspection tunnels, workers meticulously check each vehicle. Every Mustang undergoes hands-on evaluation, with close attention to paint finish, interior fit and finish, and the undercarriage to ensure there are no defects or leaks before it leaves the plant. Inspectors carefully examine the paint finish, the exterior body, and the interior of each vehicle, ensuring that every detail meets Ford's strict quality standards. Next, the Mustangs are started for the first time and tested directly from the driver's seat. The team checks a wide range of functions, including the horn, windshield wipers, lights, turn signals, and more, making sure every system operates flawlessly. The sixth-generation Mustang, produced from 2015 to 2023, launched to strong demand. However, sales gradually declined over the years, reaching a record low in 2024. Meanwhile, the Mustang Mach-E, Ford's electric crossover, has surged in popularity, surpassing the traditional coupe in sales by 2024 and early 2025. This shift is largely driven by the growing demand for electric vehicles, rising prices for the Mustang, and increased competition in the performance vehicle segment. Although the Transit is assembled as a complete vehicle at the Kansas City assembly plant, Ford's extensive North American supplier network still plays a major role in its production. Hundreds of components, especially those required for the electric e-Transit and for specialized commercial variants, are sourced from suppliers across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The 2020 model year marked the end of the Ford Fusion in North America, effectively bringing Ford's remaining four-door sedan lineup in the region to a close. Originally built in 1968, this facility was designed to produce traditional automatic transmissions for Ford vehicles. Over the decades, it has evolved alongside automotive technology, playing a key role in supplying reliable drivetrain components that powered millions of Ford cars and trucks across North America. This facility manufactures and assembles the electric motors and transaxles for the Ford F-150 Lightning, which are subsequently transported to the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan, for final assembly. The extended-range F-150 Lightning is equipped with a 131 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the largest battery Ford has ever produced, providing increased driving range and enhanced performance for the all-electric pickup. In response to overwhelming demand, Ford upgraded the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in mid-2023 to increase its production capacity to 150,000 trucks per year. Smaller, precise tasks, such as handling wiring, installing screws, or performing delicate adjustments, are still carried out exclusively by human workers, ensuring accuracy and attention to detail that machines cannot easily replicate. Last year, Ford sold approximately 2.2 million vehicles in the United States, marking its strongest U.S. sales performance since 2019. The increase in electrified vehicle sales highlights Ford's shift from relying solely on gasoline and diesel models toward a more diverse lineup that includes both hybrid and fully electric options.
And there's like 4 people putting it in and out.
There are 3.
Now you will see how Ford vehicles are manufactured in Canada. Ford has a factory here at the Ford Oakville Assembly Plant. Right now, you can watch the beginning of production for the Ford Flex and Ford Edge. The manufacturing process starts in the welding and stamping areas, where workers create the vehicle's basic frame.
I like these guys. I'm sure they're all nice as you are.
And there's a wall down the line. how we're doing right now. It's going to be a long board, but yeah. Wide angle lens is better, Brian. Wide angle. Got my back ride. That's perfect. Awesome, great walk and coming back. So wait for the next vehicle to roll in, and then we're gone. Got my back ride.
Historically, this facility has served as a crucial hub for Ford, manufacturing a wide variety of transmissions and components for Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles, helping support the company's diverse lineup across multiple. The investment supported continued production while enabling the introduction of the 10R80, 10R80 diesel, and the upcoming 10R100 transmissions, ensuring the facility remains at the forefront of Ford's advanced drivetrain technology. Instead of modifying the lighter-duty F-150 for heavier tasks, Super Duty trucks were engineered from the ground up as a dedicated variant of the Ford F-Series, specifically built to handle greater payloads, towing capacities, and demanding work applications. Quality control employees are tasked with ensuring the highest standards, delivering the level of craftsmanship and reliability that American customers expect and deserve.